How's it going, YouTube? This is Skull, and welcome to episode 73 of Zootopia on home video. Starting today, I am going to be going over the UK Zootropolis 2 releases. There are a lot of them, and as of right now, I actually own most of them. I'm missing one. Hopefully, I'll be able to pick that up in time to get that episode out before I'm done with all of these, but I guess we'll just have to wait and see. In the meantime, let's go ahead and get started with the most basic of releases from the UK for Zootropolis 2, the DVD. So, if you're new to this channel, if this is your first time watching one of these videos, you're probably wondering, wait, Zootropolis, why is it called Zootropolis 2 instead of Zootopia 2? Well, so in Europe, in Denmark, there is a zoo that is called Zootopia, and instead of working out a rights deal with that zoo, Disney decided instead to simply rename the film wherever it was necessary to different names. So, in most of the world, it's still called Zootopia, but in most of Europe, it's actually called Zootropolis. And even though the UK is no longer a part of the European Union, since the first film was called Zootropolis already, they decided to just keep up the name and call it Zootropolis 2 when the sequel came out. So that's why it's called Zootropolis 2. So this released in the UK on March 9, 2026, which was almost a week after the US releases on March 3rd. It was 6 days later. And yeah, this is, as I said, this is the DVD. So this is what the cover looks like. It's pretty much exactly the same as the US DVD, although there's no DVD only up here, or DVD, whatever it said, text up there. Otherwise, it's the exact same cover. Got the Zootropolis 2 logo there. We've got the nice rounded PG logo there, the same one that we saw introduced in the UK 4K version of Zootropolis. We've got the Irish film rating there. Over here we got Disney DVD. No Disney's Fast Play, or maybe there is. I actually don't know, and I'll get to that later. And, of course, Disney Classics number 63. It should be 64. Zootopia 2 is the 64th Disney animated film. I am not going through this again, but the UK is about one film behind the US with all of these films since Wreck-It Ralph, basically. So whatever the actual number is, -1, and that's what it is in the UK canon. Number 63, yay. Also, before I go too much farther, you'll notice that the case is gray. And it's not just the case, no pun intended, for my personal copy. All of the copies of this film that I've seen from my friends and from pictures posted online is that they come in this gray case. I'm not entirely sure why that is, but I gotta say, it complements the color scheme of the rest of it very neatly, so I approve. I don't think we've seen another release anywhere of any version of either film with a gray case up until now, and it's nice to see this. So, yeah. So that's what the front looks like, and then we get to the side. Make sure I'm doing it the right way, of course. Okay, so we have Gary here at the top. We've got Disney Classics 63 there. We've got the serial number. It's not serial, it's the catalog number. It's a very long catalog number. Then we've got Disney Zootropolis 2, and then you got the film ratings on the side on top of the Disney DVD logo. This is just a thing that they do in the UK, most of the world actually, where they put the ratings on the front and on the side. It's just something you got to get used to. And then on the back, this is what it looks like. It's pretty much the exact same synopsis as what we saw with the US DVD, except that they've replaced the word Zootopia with Zootropolis everywhere. So yeah, let's see. At the top, it does say Disney's 63rd animated classic. Man, they're really shoving that wrong number down our throats, aren't they? It's all in jest, guys. I don't care that much about it. We do have the photosensitivity warning here. That is not on the US version. You'll remember back in episode 64 when I was going over the 2024 re-releases of the first film, it included the photosensitivity warning here for people who are prone to epilepsy and seizures. The Zootopia 2 release in the US didn't have that warning, but the Zootropolis 2 releases in the UK have that, every single one. I'm not sure why that is. Why would they go through the trouble of reissuing the first film in the US with the warning, but then not bothering with the second film, even though it's there in other places of the world? Interesting. I don't get it. Other than that, we just have all the legalese down here, all of the information that the film, apparently the language options are English, Czech, and Italian in Dolby 5.1, and then subtitles for English for hearing impaired, Czech, and Italian. Czech and Italian. Okay. Then we got the ratings there again, and all that other stuff. Yeah, that's what the back looks like. And yeah, that's pretty much the case. It's what it looks like. If we were to open it up and look at the inside, we got no pamphlets or anything. It's just this nice, economic environment-friendly packaging. So it's recycled. It's easy to recycle. It uses less plastic overall. I'm in favor of saving the planet, so this doesn't bother me. Then we got our DVD disc, and it is worth remembering that the US DVD is just the same as it's always been, just a white disc with the words scratched out so you could see the bare, raw plastic underneath. This actually has art on the disc. I am not used to seeing art on a DVD, well, of any kind these days, but yeah, it's nice to see a DVD with art on it for a Zootopia anywhere in the world, even if it's Zootropolis 2. And you'll also remember, if you watched episode, whatever it was, 69, I think, you'll remember that this is actually the same art that we have on our 4K disc here in the United States. So that's pretty cool, actually, that they put it on the standard DVD over there. Since they didn't get a 4K, spoiler alert for later, then I guess it just makes sense. Well, if you have the art, you may as well put it on a disc. You may as well put it on the DVD. So we've got just the film logo there at the bottom. We've got this image of Gary hugging Nick and Judy from one of the teaser posters. And then we got the film ratings here, PG and PG. Disney DVD. We got the number over here, the product number. And then at the bottom here, copyright 2026 Disney, and the region code, region 0. Region 0? Yeah, guys, that is a region-free DVD. We have not seen that. The US DVDs were all region 1 for Zootopia 2. But the UK Zootropolis 2 DVD is region 0. This will play in any DVD player in the world, as long as it's PAL. Yeah, one of the things to keep in mind here, it'll point out here right where I'm pointing, color PAL. Despite being a region-free disc, it is still coded as a PAL disc. And that is just something that no DVD can bypass. No matter how good DVD technology gets, it has to be either NTSC or PAL, and there's no way to make it both. So, unfortunately, even though this is a region-free disc, it will not work in NTSC players, DVD, Blu-ray, even 4K players. I do not have a player that plays this, unfortunately. Even my Region 2 player from Japan doesn't play this because that plays Region 2 NTSC discs. This is still PAL. Very unfortunate. It's so close to perfection. But it's also just a reality of the DVD format. DVDs have always been region locked, even hardware locked, and there's not much you can do about it. It doesn't matter anyway, because as we'll see in the next several episodes, the Blu-ray is region-free like it's always been, so you can import one of those. But if you insist on buying a DVD copy of Zootropolis 2, if you have a player that will play PAL discs from anywhere in the world, it'll play just fine. So this will play in like Australia, or I'm trying to think of what else there is. Russia, as we discovered in episodes 70 through 72. Bats PAL. Anywhere in Europe. So if you have a PAL player, or a player capable of playing PAL, then this will work. It's Region 0 PAL. Unfortunately, if you're like me and you don't have one, then all it can really do is look nice on a shelf. But, you know. Why else do you collect at this rate anyway? So that'll bring our coverage of this to an end. This is a great introduction to Zootropolis 2 from the UK. I love the gray. It really complements the sea blue green that we see all over. It's a nice color case. And I'll get over Disney Classics being one number off. And that'll bring this video to an end. And like I said, I have many more copies from the UK to show off in future episodes, so make sure you subscribe and all that stuff so you can be alerted whenever I go over them. And that'll bring this to an end. That's the third time I said that. So leave a comment if you learned something, and if there's any copy of Zootopia or Zootropolis or Zootropolis 2 or any other film in the series that you would like for me to cover in future episodes. Thanks everyone for watching, and stay tuned for more.